Hey y'all,
this is Dee.
And this is Shelbie, and we're from Bitch Please.
Welcome back to another episode. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
Woo.
So we are back for another episode. Thank you for tuning in this week if you are joining us.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys have been catching our other content, which is Bump and Gums, which is just a big old info dump of information that we're into.
Yeah.
So
and in the spirit of
yeah,
Black History Month, it's going to be all about Black history.
yes, it is.
Yeah. So check it out. We have episode 3 out already. Yeah, it's pretty good shit. I like it. If you find anything on there, or you find something that you think we are wrong in, you are welcome to let us know. We've actually had quite a few people doing that.
We actually have been having quite a few people do that. Not just for not necessarily just for Bump and Gums, for just the episodes in general.
Yeah.
People have had some comments to say about the way we've been going about things. And to you, we say thank you. But yeah, if you guys have any like recommendations, if you guys have anything to say, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if we clap back.
And we gonna clap back.
We gonna clap.
It's
gonna be a round of applause at this bitch.
Listen, facts. I'm not about to keep clapping back with you if you're gonna be ignorant. But
no.
I'm gonna school you on some shit and then let you keep on with your uneducated ignorance.
Keeping on.
Yeah. Keep on keeping on.
So before we get started with the episode, how are your screws?
They're actually really good.
That's awesome.
They're really good. It's crazy what can happen when you have time off work.
It is
especially
crazy.
from a toxic job.
Tis true.
Especially from a toxic job.
Tis true.
Girl, the way I feel like a whole new bitch.
Yeah. No, it's
like,
understandable.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of time off does it.
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, the circumstances of me having this time off is sucks. But yeah, I have the time off, and it's cool. It's cool. So I've been, just trying to take care of myself a lot lately.
As you should, girl. Rest and whatnot.
Girl, it took me.
I gotta put my foot up here.
That's okay.
My foot. I keep having my foot like this, and it hurts real bad.
Yeah, stick your foot out.
Apologize.
That's what you want to play footsies.
I mean,
we can play footsies. It's okay. Let me get some content real quick. Girl,
whose ugly ass freaking dog feet are those?
They would love it. With
my chipped ass green glittery paint because I still haven't taken the polish off.
I can't stand you.
Anyway, go
ahead. What was I saying?
Taking time off, the circumstances in which you...
I mean, when I took the first day that I had off was last Wednesday, and my dad had a surgery done and blah, 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 blah. And after that, I think I slept for almost 2 whole days.
Girl, you told me, you were like, I think I slept for like 12 hours straight. I was like, yeah, girl, I believe it.
Because I haven't been sleeping.
Yeah.
I haven't been sleeping. And then on top of that, I can't stand my job. Well, I love my job. Let me rephrase that. I love my job. I can't stand the people I work with. A lot of the people I work with. But
that's fair.
But it's been a lot. It's been very stressful at work, and I'm happy to not be there for a little bit, which it's cool, but also makes me sad. But anyways, how are your screws?
I get it. My screws are not super great. It has been a rough week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a rough couple of months, to be honest, as you know.
Yeah.
But this week has been a little bit trying.
Yeah.
I have also had a couple of days off from work, which was not my intent, but just when life happens, and I have not been able to go to work. So today was my first day back, which, Yep.
Yeah. It was lovely, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
It's really good for your mental health.
Great for my mental health. I cannot wait for it to be ruined anymore.
Yeah.
I know tomorrow is gonna probably just really drive it home.
It's gonna really get
bring it on in.
Really get in there. Get in there.
Thankfully, I'll be off on Wednesday, Thursday. So
okay, cool.
Anywho,
cool.
My screws they're getting. I'm not gonna lie, they're not getting any better right now. They're not. It's just I'm taking it day by day.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's all I can do. Some days I'm cool, some days I'm not. That's just where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
This is what it's gonna be for a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
you gotta do what you need to do, girl.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, work is not the most important thing in the whole world.
Yeah, but I'm just even outside of work, just the stuff that's happening. It's just like, it's just going to take me a second to get back balance. And once I get back balance, I think I'll feel a little bit better about life.
Were you talking about the shitty political climate?
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about my health. I didn't even think, I wasn't talking about that either, but that on top of a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think once I can get a little bit more balance, because that shit is going to be happening.
Yeah.
The things I can control is how I handle my job, how I deal with my job, if I'm going to be at my job, and my medical conditions.
Yeah.
So that's all I can control right now, and I can barely control some of that.
Girl, I hear you.
So I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Moving right along.
I forgot what we was talking about.
So I want to talk about, I saw a movie recently.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to do a little movie review with Deidre, which I told her she needs to be doing this on the regular schmegular.
Movie reviews with Deidre.
Please, explain this movie to people.
I saw this movie. Should I do the title at the beginning or should I do it at the end?
I'll just make sure you tell them spoilers.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do the title at the beginning. The movie that I saw recently was Wolfman. The Wolfman, it's in theaters right now. It's got people in it. I don't remember all the actors and actresses in it, but there are people in it that y'all should see. It's an interesting concept or whatever. There will be spoilers.
Spoilers.
I'm spoiling the fuck out of this movie. And if you haven't seen it, it is a book. It was a book and it was from a movie in the 40s. This is kind of like a new adaptation of that.
Yeah.
So I think it's the 40s. I don't know. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong. So okay, pretty much you got this guy. He has a family, but his family kind of on the outs. Him and his wife kind of on the outs right now, but they got a kid, right? So he just finds out that his dad dies, but his dad lives in like some off the way forest place. And he's like, okay, well, I got to go out there and handle his whole farm. He's got this big ass farm. He's like, I'm going to go handle this farm. Then we're going to leave and we'll go from there. But I would really want you to come with me because, with death and it's, life is short. I just want to kind of have my family back together. We can try to work it out. And she's like, okay, man, we going to try to figure it out. I'm going to bring my daughter, because she's like, Daddy, I love you down and all that. So she's like, bet. So they go on this trip to go out in the middle of nowhere in the woods. They're driving, trying to find this daddy's farm. Well, they're kind of a little bit lost, but they see this guy that's on like this little tree house type of thing. And he's like, y'all lost? And he's like, yeah, man, we're trying to find so-and-so's house. Tells us his dad's name. He's like, bet, I know exactly where that's at. And he's like, I'll just hop in the car with you.
Weird as fuck.
Hops in the car. Wife is like, she's like, let me get in the backseat with my kid because this is crazy as hell. And he's like, oh, I'm so-and-so's kid. And he's like, oh, that's right. When people do that and they don't really remember it. He ain't remember for real. But he's like, okay, you're so-and-so's kid. I know who so-and-so is.
Yeah.
So you're probably his kid. Cool. They driving, talking, having a good old time, all this other stuff. And he turns like this, turns around. There's something in the middle of the street. They like slam on the brakes. Whole car flips over. They end up rolling down hills. They stuck in a tree. Okay, cool.
I'm going to do sound effects behind you.
Do sound effects.
Continue on.
They get stuck in a tree. It's looking real crazy. Everybody's like, what the hell just happened? Homie, the homie that is in, that just hopped in the car with them is like freaking out. So he opens his door and unlocks his, and undoes his seatbelt, falls out on the ground. Boom. They looking around like, oh, this is crazy as fuck. So they're like, okay, well, we got to figure something out so we can make sure everybody's safe. So he starts trying to make sure his daughter and his wife are good. He has them, work their way out of the vehicle. As he's looking down, he notices that homeboy is still alive, but like not doing great. He looks for a way for a second. Homeboy is getting snatched away by something. Still hasn't seen what this something is.
Snatched.
Okay. So now they're like, oh my God, something's out here. We got to hurry the fuck on. Like, we don't know what's happening.
We need to run. It's time to go.
So they getting everything together. Homie's trying to close the door now because he's like, something's out there. I don't want it to get my family. So he reaches his little arm out. He gets like slapped, scratched by something. So he's like, that's weird, but whatever. We'll figure it out when we get to the house.
Type shit.
Right. So they get out of the car. They go and they walk, run to the house. They're like, finally, we're at the farmhouse. This is great. He turns on the power. They're like, cool. His arm is really, really bad though. So they're like, okay, his wife's like, hey babe, let me get this wrapped up for you. This is real crazy, but we want to make sure you get this wrapped up.
First of all, what a wife.
What a wife. Ask zero
because
question.
That would have been like disgusting.
It was bad. It was bad.
Get the fuck out. Clearly you about to turn into something nasty. Get out.
Something nasty. It looked infected. It looked real bad right off the rip. Right off the rip. And also, they all know that there's something running around these woods. Okay.
Obviously.
There's not another house
man
for...
just got snatched.
He got snatched. Snatched. The only thing left that he had was his gun.
Ooh.
Not a shoe, not a sock.
Okay.
Not a jacket.
Well, at least it was convenient enough to leave a gun.
That was very considerate.
Thank you.
He's like, y'all gonna need this. And they were like, thank you so much, because we are.
He was like, hold on a second. Let me put this down. Okay, you can take it.
He actually took it off of himself.
Yeah.
And placed it down gently before he was snatched away. Left a little note and everything.
Yeah.
None of that happened. But
there was some bread and cookies and shit.
So they do that. Cool. So they're in the house. He got the power on. She bandages him up. They're trying to figure out life. They're like, okay, cool. So they're trying to get homegirl safe. The baby girl is safe. She's like, Daddy, are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm cool, blah, blah, blah. Homeboy's trying to lock in doors, all these things. Well, he ends up still realizing that there's something outside, and that something outside is now close to the house. So they're all looking around because it's running around the house, knocking on things, and they're freaking out. So he moves this big old cabinet in front of the door to block it so nobody could pop through. So then he hears it closer, and he's like, all right, let me go see what it is. Well, they got this back door that's got this little doggy door in it. So he's like, let me get it. He stands by the door, and he's like, oh my God, this is crazy sounding. That thing snatched him from the bottom and tried to snatch him out the door. Crazy. So now he trying to fight. His wife's like, hell the fuck no, you're not gonna leave me with this little motherfucker. So she go to pull him. So she get him. They're like, okay babe, there's some shit out there that's getting real crazy, but
getting real wild.
Homie is starting to look a little crazy. He's sweating profusely, like things are not infected. He's not infected. It's looking worse. He's bleeding through his thing. So his wife, like the good wife she is, takes off his bandages, and the first thing that this man do is start gnawing on his little arm. She like, that's weird. That's crazy. He ain't used to do that.
But he's still my boo.
But that's my boo, and I'm gonna stay beside him.
I'm a stand. That's my whole man. Let's keep it moving.
She did. I'm gonna stay beside him.
She was like, "All right, baby, are you okay?
Are you good? You sweat a little bit. Your hair looks a little crazy, right?
That's a little different.
Are you hungry? You want me to make you a sandwich? Just a little hungry.
What a doting wife.
Doting wife. So she's like, this is kind of crazy, but whatever. So at this point, mind you, the daughter is also here seeing this, but like also not seeing it as much because they told her little ass to go sit the fuck down. So homegirl is like, okay, we got to bandage you right back up. But homie still remembers that this thing is still out there. So he's like, oh my God, I got to go try to figure out what's going on. So at some point they're like, okay, we need to try to figure out a way to get from this house because it's getting real crazy. So they're like, there's this truck out here. We're going to try to start it. But by this time, homie's starting to like change, and they're like, something is going on with him where he's not able to communicate anymore. He's kind of like grunting. He can't really like see them, but he also cannot understand them. So they're trying to talk to him, and when he looks at them, they look like what's the thing I was trying to explain to you in Stranger Things, where they went to the world, upside down place. That's what like his view of them was like that.
That's wild.
It was really weird. It was really, really weird. So he couldn't hear them, and he could hear them, but he couldn't understand them. They couldn't understand him. So by this point, his wife's like, shit is getting bad. He private changed. The daughter's like, hey girl, what's going on? She's like, hey man, daddy's sick. Something wrong with him, and he ain't right, but we gonna try to figure it out. We gonna take his ass with us, and we gonna go to a hospital or something like that.
I don't know why they didn't fucking do that shit in the first place from jump.
Because it was a bad wound.
He was chewing on his arm.
Gnawed on it, girl. Like,
why was you chewing on that shit? You need to go to the hospital immediately.
Hospital wasn't gonna fix that.
You need to be put down.
Hospital was not gonna fix that.
Just a couple bullets right between the eyes.
Literally.
Anyways,
so they hop into this car. And they're like, great, we'll get in the car. She gets the battery. She gets it started. Whatever. The thing that jumps on the top of the hood. It's this wolf-looking man thing. Wolfman. So now they're like freaking out because they're like, oh my God, we didn't know what it was. Okay, now we can't drive anywhere. We need to get back inside the house, or if we can get somewhere, we need to get safety. So they decide to go up on this greenhouse thing that's got like vinyl plastic thing around it, and they sit on top of the vinyl thing. So when that happens, the Wolfman is inside the greenhouse poking and stuff at them, which is going to cause them to fall down, which is the daughter, the wife, and the dad. So the dad's like communicating with them like, hey, and they like, got it, cool. So the mom's like, hey girl, we gonna run inside, daddy's gonna go this way. So they do that, break, okay, they do that. Homegirl goes inside with the daughter. Precision. Literally goes inside with the daughter's like, I cannot believe you left daddy out there. This is it, say that's my daddy, why would you leave him like that? Homegirl was like, little girl, go sit down.
If you don't sit your ass down, I'm about to snatch you up by the hair. If you don't go sit
go sit down. You don't know what's going on right now. That man is turning into a wolf.
You need to go sit the fuck down. Sit down.
So she goes sit down. She's like, girl, you don't even know what's going on. Like, calm down. We're going to get daddy back in here. So they do eventually get daddy back in there. But daddy is not daddy no more. Daddy is like fully changing. His little fingers is now claws. His hair done fall out. Homie got teeth. Stuff is getting bad, right? So then when they think homie's gone, he comes flying through the door. So then the daddy and the Wolfman they're duking it out inside the house.
Beefing.
And you know what his wife does? Like the real bitch that she is.
Because she a real ass bitch.
She a real one. She start fighting the other wolf with the other Wolfman with her husband.
I know that's right.
Daughter, I guess, knocked out, sleep really well, I guess, heavy sleeper.
Girl, hey, listen, she needed to because she couldn't shut her fucking mouth up.
She couldn't. They was like, go to bed,
go to sleep.
Homegirl didn't even hear none of this happening. Homegirl, the wife was beating this man. She trying to help her husband. They having a whole thing. Eventually, the husband ends up killing the Wolfman. So now the wife's like, let me go check on my kid, make sure she's straight or whatever. And the husband's like looking around. He looked down, he sees this tattoo on this Wolfman's arm. The tattoo belonged to the daddy.
Papa
Daddy
Wolfman.
was the Wolfman.
Papa Wolfman was out here. All right.
Crazy.
Crazy.
So now he like, oh my God, homie was alive this whole time. He was a Wolfman. He was alive.
He was alive, but he wasn't like, you know,
he wasn't
alive.
like living.
He wasn't living.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was living some type of life.
He was breathing.
So he was like, damn, I just killed my daddy after. But it's like, you already thought your daddy was dead. So,
100%.
You know. Anyway, so he's like, damn, has a sad moment or whatever. But he's still changing. So now the daughter and the mom is like, yeah, we gonna figure it out. But it's getting bad. Homie is like losing his shit completely. So they're like, God, we gotta run. We gonna have to run, girl. We gonna have to run. Daddy is on one. We cannot do
Papa
this.
Wolfman.
We gonna
Papa
have to
Wolfman
go.
number 2.
No, right. So so she at some point has a conversation with her daughter. She's like, hey, you remember Grandpa? You know, we thought we this. Well, apparently this is genetic. So like, yes,
He out here. I mean, he was.
That was your grandpa.
Pappy is dead.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, bet. So her and the daughter take off running so that they can get to safety. As they're running, they end up coming up on that tree house that we saw at the beginning of the movie. So they climb up the little tree house, and the dad finds them, and he starts to climb up the tree house as well. They got the gun still. And so the daughter and the dad had like this communication things where they'd be like, what am I thinking? Or he would say, what am I thinking? They would say, oh, look, you're thinking this, you're thinking that. Was real cute. So it was real cute. So they had that whole moment, and he gets up there and she's like, daddy wants us to like, he wants this to be over. So she's like, dang, I don't really want to do this, but bow. So she shoots him, homeboy flies down, dies, and then they start walking. They just keep walking, and they show them walking, but they show them like face front, and then it like pans around to see what they're looking at, and their eyes just get real big, and it's just the scenery. It's just a beautiful scenery. That's it. That was Wolfman in a short
10 minutes time. You did that in 10 minutes.
I tried to do it as quickly as I could.
You moved.
I was moving.
You was moving.
I probably left out some parts, but like that was the gist of it.
There's a point you're gonna look back, and when you editing this, where I'm just staring at you because I'm trying to figure out if you breathe in. No. I'm like, yeah, that's one whole breath. She ain't even stop yet. I'm like, she ain't even stop. Okay, I was like, you see me? I was like,
so that was Wolfman in a
so
box.
Basically, go watch it if you want.
Go watch it if you want to see it. It was a very interesting movie. It was. I'll be honest. There was a lot of parts of it that I was like, that's his dad. Like the whole time I could see stuff happening. I was like, that's his dad. He's about to turn to Wolfman. His daddy was a Wolfman. Like it was very obvious to me. So if you don't want to be spoiled in watching this, maybe don't skip ahead to this. But yeah, that was that was my review of Wolfman.
And what's your actual review? Good movie? Bad movie?
It was cool. It's
like
not
what?
that,
like theater worthy cool?
Well, I was at the theater when
that's
I watched
what I'm asking though. Is it theater worthy cool?
No, I would watch it on streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool for visually. It was really cool and like sound wise because I just don't have that type of setup at my house.
Yeah.
But if I had a bigger TV and like the full like setup, if I had the stands and all that I need for my speakers and all that, because I got a nice sub.
Yeah.
Then I probably would have watched it at home.
I really want to get a sound bar. I know this is a little off topic, but I kind of want to get a sound bar.
You know, you can get you actually can get some really nice sound bars.
I know. Yeah.
I also used to have a sound bar, but I didn't have like a really high-end sound bar.
Yeah.
But a sound bar would be really nice.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I was just thinking about? And sorry, this is a little off topic, but only because you were just talking about old school shit and receiver and blah, 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 blah. Like the way I be looking at kids today and how they can like work iPhones and they can work all this shit and they can figure out YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
I used to be able to set those shits up like no problem. Like the receiver and like the entire thing. And we had to take the wires, the blue and the red and the red and the black wires and try to like put them in for the speakers. And then I had to use wire cutters to like make sure. Girl, I did all that when I was like 10, 11, setting shit up for my parents.
Yeah. You missed your calling, girl.
We learned. Well, no, I don't know about all that, but what I'm saying is like the generations and stuff like that, the way we learn shit.
Yeah.
Because my parents was like, how do you know to do that? And I was like, it's color coded.
Yeah.
It's literally color coded.
Obviously, white goes to white, red goes to red. Duh.
They would always be like, can you fix this? And I'm like, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Girl.
But yeah, I think you should get a soundbar, girl.
I need to get a soundbar. I need to get a little something out here.
Yeah.
Make it sound nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice TV.
It is a nice TV. I need to get a new TV as well.
I want to get one for the room. Girl. I want to get one for the room really bad.
Yeah, I want to get a new one, but I'm also like that. For that room, I need to leave it exactly like it is.
Yeah.
Anything bigger is going to be insane.
Yeah,
my room's just too small for that.
Yeah, I really just want like a 42-inch for my room. Yeah, I just need something a little bit bigger than what I have so I can see while I'm playing video games.
Yeah, I think I got a 40. It's either a 42 or a 47. I don't know.
Oh.
It's 40 something.
Yeah.
I do know that.
I don't think I can do anything bigger than like a 47.
Yeah, I feel like a 50 would be way too big. Yeah.
I feel like I'd be like
in the show.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
I'm gonna be sitting there doing the parts.
Somebody suggested like over like a 55 or something like that in my room, and I was like,
I mean, you do have a really big room, but I think that would be
space there.
Yeah, I think that would be with
with
too
the bookshelves
big.
And everything else. I don't have the space.
I think it would be too big.
But also, I'm not a TV in the room person.
Right.
I'm not. Like, I've never been at like this is the first time I've had a TV in my room since my ex-husband did. Because I've never really liked the TV in the room in the first place.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a 42 or a 47 would be perfect.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think it's like just the right amount of TV for the things that you have in there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, we got off topic.
Oh, yeah. So the movie, I would watch it. I mean, I thought it was cool. I would definitely probably go watch it on streaming, but like totally up to you. If you're into like thriller movies and things like that and want to see it on the big screen, go do it.
Yeah,
it's cool. Each his own. Each his own.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, on to the next segment.
All right.
So we were talking about, Deidre and I were having a conversation the other day about like random shit that we thought everybody does, but not everybody does it. And I immediately thought of the fact that I saved my oil.
Oh yeah.
I save my oil. I save the oil that I fry with. I strain it, make sure there's no crusties in there, and I reuse my oil.
Yeah.
And that shit got so much flavor in it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but not everybody does that.
Yeah, no, not everybody does.
Some people actually put it down the drain and shit.
Which you're not supposed. Well, you weren't supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that still. But
yeah.
People
I'm like, that's
throw it down
wild
the drain
to me.
or throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Which I started seeing people doing lately.
That's weird.
I did see something though that there's like some solution that they put into the oil, and it I don't want to say it solidifies, but it becomes like a little bit thicker. And they toss it, but I guess it's like biodegradable. It breaks down pretty easily.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Which is but also weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Like, why are you not saving your oil? It's weird as fuck. Did you think of anything?
Oh, so one of the things that I do, which I thought it was kind of normal. I don't know. Now I feel like it's silly. Anyway, I don't wash my dishes with the same thing I wash my counters and stuff with.
No.
Some people do that.
That's weird.
I know.
That's weird.
I know. I have a sponge that I wash dishes with, and then
there's a sponge or a towel that you use to clean.
Not everybody does that.
They use the same thing
I thought it was so strange.
Weird, bro.
I thought it was strange, but
it's so weird.
So I don't feel as weird now because I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, that's weird as fuck.
Right?
That is weird.
Right.
That's really weird.
Right?
Ew. You got cleaning products all over your dishes. Oh, that's weird. That's weird to me. That's weird.
That's what I thought.
You're supposed to have separate sponges.
That's what I thought as well.
And I also have a completely separate sponge and stuff for the bathroom.
Yeah. What do you mean? People take the same bathroom thing that they use in the kitchen?
I mean, I'm gonna assume so. If they have it, if they're using the same goddamn,
I would hope not. That is two separate. No,
no. I don't know.
Well, so
because that's disgusting. You're literally using because I use bleach.
Right.
So it's like, why would I want to put that on my?
Well, and then when I clean my countertops, I use like Fabuloso or I use whatever. So it's like that chemical is not the same as Dawn.
Girl, that's weird.
But I also use like a sponge to do dishes and a towel for the it doesn't have to be a towel, but like I'd use something very different so it's not like confusing. Yeah. But yeah, people don't do that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I literally have cleaning sponges underneath my sink.
Yeah.
I have like a basket of brand new sponges, and then I have a basket of I have like one cleaning sponge.
Yeah.
And usually that cleaning sponge is the old sponge from the sink
that
I end up reusing to clean my shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't let my sponges in my sink go way bad like some people do.
Yeah. I mean, my sponges probably sit a little bit longer, but I try to rinse them out, but I don't live by myself. So that's not.
I don't,
always
like at work, the sponge that's at work.
Oh, in the break room?
Girl, that shit stinks.
First of all, that thing be soaking wet with soaking pieces in it.
With soap and I'm like, you want me to clean my dish with this?
That's why I try not to use any of the dishes there if I don't have to.
Oh, God, no. That's nasty.
If I don't have to, I won't.
That's nasty. The shit that people do, like, okay, I did not know that not everybody closes the shower curtain.
Yeah, I definitely close the shower curtain all the time.
I'm like, as soon as I'm done, I close my shower curtain.
See, my thought process, why do you do it? Because I know why I do it, but why do you do it?
Well, one, I do it because I don't want the lining on the inside to get disgusting.
Literally why I do it.
It's supposed to air dry like that. And there it's like, oh, but it's antimicrobial. Okay, I don't give a fuck what they say it is. It still get a little mildew and musty, okay, if you keep it closed like that.
Yeah.
But also aesthetics.
Yeah,
it's just aesthetically pleasing. You go inside of the bathroom, it's closed. It's closed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I do the same thing. I am always like, if I walk into the bathroom, it's open, I close it. It
pisses me off when people leave it open. Girl. It pisses me off when people leave it open. Another thing is people hopping about the shower and wetting the whole fucking carpet when they come out. First of all,
I'm guilty of that. I'm a little bit guilty of that.
Who does that? Like, dry your legs off. It takes all of 5 seconds. You just do a little... And then you hop out. Literally, the first thing that I pretty much dry off when I get in is I dry off my back, and then I immediately dry off my legs, and I hop out at the shower, and then I dry the rest of myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want because eventually, like, I'm going to have to clean those things more often because they're going to be soaking wet, and they're going to smell weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
That's just weird to me.
I'm not great about it. I'm going to be honest, I'm not.
That's just weird to me.
I'm not great about it. One of the other things that I don't really do it so much anymore, but I used to do it a lot. I don't cook enough anymore, so
yeah.
The stove light that used to stay on.
Oh, at night?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like that used to stay on.
Yeah.
I don't do it as much anymore. I did it for a couple of reasons. I did it because you could see. Well, I did it because you could see.
Yeah.
Because the house is typically pretty dark.
Yes.
If it's, you know what I mean? So I left it on for that purpose, but also just because, I don't know, I just thought that's what you were supposed to do.
You just leave it on.
I don't know why.
Why would people turn it off? That's weird.
I don't really do it anymore, but I used to do it a lot.
Oh, I would still, if I had one, my shit would be on. Yeah. I have a nightlight in the kitchen.
I have I have.
What?
Words. I use my microwave light.
Yeah.
Because it's connected.
Yeah.
So that's what I use.
Oh,
which is like most places that have like those connected microwave stove combos. That's what it is now.
Yeah.
But you used to have those stoves that had the little switch on the actual stove. Yeah. But I don't have that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I had another one, and I said I wasn't going to say it because I wanted to keep it for the pod, and I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. I don't know. You got another one?
I do. So I use, which I think most people use, but I don't. I thought most people. I don't know if that's true. But when I used to have carpet, which I no longer have carpet, I used to use seasoning.
Carpet seasoning. Yes, you absolutely need a carpet seasoning.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Is my ex-husband is white, and the first time he came to my house, I used carpet seasoning, and he was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What is this?" And I was like, "It's carpet seasoning." Like I was like, "It's carpet fragrance or whatever," is what I said, because I got the seasoning from you.
Yeah.
So I was like, "It's carpet fragrance. Like, you've never used this?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, it makes the carpet smells good, and it keeps like the bacteria out and stuff like that." And he was like, "Oh," he was like weirded out by it, and I was like, "Carpet seasoning, you need it."
I miss having a carpet for those reasons only.
Cause it smells so good. It
smells so good.
Oh my god!
I really miss, like, this is such a freaking, I'm in my 30s type of thing. I miss vacuuming so much.
Do you really?
I actually do.
Sometimes I have a vacuum, but I have a vacuum because I have a big ass rug in my room.
Yeah.
So I vacuum that, but like, I don't actually miss vacuuming. Well, I guess I kind of miss vacuuming.
I really enjoyed vacuuming
because I liked making the lines straight.
The lines, which now I guess I could just mow my lawn.
You really could. If you wanted to. I mean, your dad did do all that.
I have to, because the lawn is getting crazy.
He's going to come at you.
Girl, it's going to get done when I feel better.
He's going to come at you. He's going to be like...
I noticed on the cameras that...
I noticed that...
Looks like it's getting a little high. Did you edge it up?
Did you edge it up?
I got the blower. You didn't blow it. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
But yeah, I do miss... I miss vacuuming.
Yeah.
I miss it a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I don't know, man. I sweep them up, girl. I like having tile floor. I like having wood floor because it's just, it keeps the house cleaner, honestly.
Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it because sweeping and mopping is a lot. It's I don't know. I just like it. And you could see it like really well.
Yeah.
You could see it getting clean.
Yeah.
But But I do miss vacuuming a little bit because I liked using the little seasoning.
Yeah. You know what else is another thing that people don't do that I realize that not everybody does? Clean their meat.
What do you mean they don't clean their meat?
Like, people don't clean their meat sometimes. Like, I clean my chicken.
Yeah, but like, what did they do?
They just rinse it off with some water.
And cook it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. White people do that a lot.
They just with all the salmonella,
all the salmonellas. They're
just like, rinse it with water.
They're like, oh, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna get cooked out.
Like, so they don't use like
no, because like I'll at least let mine sit for like a good couple minutes in some water and some vinegar, and I'm like, let my chicken sit and get clean and whatever, blah 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 blah, and then I strain it out. Especially if I'm in a rush. If I'm not in a rush, I let it sit for like a good 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people don't always clean their meat.
That's why you can't eat at everybody's house.
You can't eat at everybody's house.
Mess around and be sick.
They
don't clean their meat.
My ex thought that was so strange.
To clean the meat?
Yes. And I said, you don't do that? He goes, no.
That must be like a thing among us colored folks.
Among us ethnic people.
Among us ethnic people.
They ran out of toner when I was printed.
Girl.
Anyway. But it's just wild. Yeah.
I got real hot.
People don't clean their meat. And it's real weird to me when they don't clean their meat. I'm just like, and I mean, I don't be cleaning like ground beef and stuff like that. But like, come on, chicken needs to be clean. Chicken needs to be clean. Stuff needs to be cleaned off. Like, you can't just pull out a piece of steak and just throw it on a goddamn thing. You can at least rinse that bitch off a little bit.
Some lemon juice or something.
I mean, lime juice is actually really good. I'll take like lime and I'll do like, especially if it's like a red meat or something.
Yeah.
Because red meat soaks up flavor and I don't want it to sit in vinegar.
Yeah.
But you take like a lemon or a lime and clean it. Do the same thing with fish.
I don't normally do lime juice because I don't ever have lime juice, but lemon juice or like vinegar.
Exactly.
I'll use, but nothing?
Yeah.
Just water and hope?
Water and hope, girl.
I can't do just water and hope.
Water and hope, girl. It's kind of crazy.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen on the interwebs that people are doing that, but I just didn't think, I thought, sometimes you see stuff on the internet and you're like, that's not real.
Yeah. Facts.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Exactly.
Something that I know, and I think this may be more of a common thing, but like, toilet paper a certain way.
Yes.
On the roll. You put it a certain way. Like,
how do you do it? Under or over?
Over. So the little flap is over.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
But he puts it under. And most people do.
Most people don't even. Some people do it. Most people do it under, or if they even notice, or it's like backwards, like
over.
But it might be back. It might be over, but over to the wall, not over to you.
No,
that's how some people do it, and you're like, why would you?
But then that's under
like that? No, so
because if you put it over to the wall, then it's going under when you pull it.
Right, it's going.
That's what
over.
I'm saying.
But some people put it like okay, so maybe when I say under, I mean like where the flap is down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're pulling the toilet paper, it's coming from underneath.
Yes.
When I say under, it's pulling from underneath the roll. If I'm saying over, it's pulling from the top.
From the top. Yeah. So yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. So I didn't know that wasn't a thing that people did. I thought everybody put their toilet paper the same way, where it's like the roll and then the things at the top.
You know what else other people do with toilet paper that I could never handle and deal with is some people don't even put on the toilet roll. They just leave that shit out.
Girl.
They just leave it out.
I tell you,
I'm like, why would you leave that on the counter?
That is one of my biggest
pet peeves. Girl, I can't stand that. Also, why would you leave 2 little pieces of toilet paper left for me to use? Girl, it's kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy to me. Did you have anything as like kids, like that, where you go to other people's houses as kids and it was just like way different?
Yeah.
It was just like I had mad stuff that was way different because I was like, I don't know, like being a kid and like but my mom was white. I act like she did. Right. My mom is white. My mom is white. But my household was very like Puerto Rican. It was very like the Puerto Rican culture. My mom loved the Puerto Rican culture. Like we did all things Puerto Rican. And so, it was weird going to other people's cribs and the kids would be able to talk back to their parents. Like, girl, when I heard the way some of these kids would be talking to their parents, I'm like, Girl. You said what?
And it's actually really funny because you see like kind of things like that on TV.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's like a running joke, but it is very real. Like, you're like, you talk to your parents like that?
You talk to your parents like that? I was like, yo, my mom would whoop my ass.
Yeah. They're like, shut up, Sharon. And you're like, you call your mom by her first name?
Sharon?
Her first name's not mom?
First of all, if I ever called my mother by her first name when I was a kid, I would have immediately got backhanded.
I think I called my mom by her first name one time when I was a kid, only because it was an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't hear me from where I was at, and I had to shout at her, and you shout out mom, and you're a kid, there's a bunch of moms.
There's a bunch of moms.
Moms are going to turn around all over the place. Yeah. They're like, oh, my kid's calling me. But I was like, Lisa! And then she turned around, and she looked at me, and I was like, you know what, it's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, girl, but yeah, that's...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a weird...
I don't even talk to my mom now, and I still call her mom. Because I just like... I can't call her Kim. It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's very weird.
I've called her Kim to be disrespectful.
Girl, even still, mom.
In my old age, though.
If I'm upset or if I'm over it, she's mom. Normally, she's mama.
Yeah, I always call my mom mama.
Yeah, I always call her mama. But if I'm like over it, I'm like, mom, chill.
Yeah, it went from mommy,
mom, chill,
mama to mom to occasionally Kim.
Yeah,
or my mother.
Same with my dad. It's daddy or dad.
Yeah. Well,
if I'm ever like father, that's a problem.
Yeah. We got issues. We got beef.
I don't think we've ever gotten there.
But I just like, it's just crazy to me how I would just go up in these houses and these kids would talk to their parents like that. And I'll be like,
I mean, I think about how they kind of just did stuff and like, okay, so we weren't really like a big snack family. Like we had like snacks and stuff like that, but we didn't have like cereals and snacks and this and that. And we just didn't have that at the house. So going to my friends' houses, it was just like, wow, you guys got this type of cereal. We were a lactose family, so we didn't really have cereal like that, especially during that time because there wasn't really oat milk, almond milk that we were really like privy to. Girl. So like we had like, we didn't really have cereal like that. So going to people's houses who had like cereal and all these snacks and cookies and chips and candies and stuff like that, whole pantries like full of stuff, and you're like, where the fuck are y'all rich? Like, what is going on?
100%.
The games and stuff they would have.
Oh, that would be another thing, is they would be able to eat snacks before dinner.
I don't even remember that though.
I was not allowed to eat anything. I was not allowed to go into that kitchen. I had to wait until dinner was done, and then I ate my goddamn dinner. I wasn't snacking. But these kids be going down, and their mama's in there cooking, and the mom's in there cooking, and they're like, I want to get cookies, and she's like, don't eat any, and they're like, no, fuck you, and they'd be grabbing cookies and shit like that, and I'd be like, yo, y'all are savages out here.
The only thing I do remember doing, this is kind of one of the things, is like nobody does that, is we used to buy block cheese. Mm-hmm. And me and my dad are little mice, so we would just cut pieces of cheese off and eat it by itself. Yeah. Apparently that's not like a normal thing. Some people do like the sprinkled cheese if they eat it by itself.
What? No, or the block cheese is where it's at.
Right. Or
with some Ritz crackers?
I'm not even with nothing. Just cheese and
yeah, I mean, just cheese is fine, but Ritz crackers was really... and some hopes and dreams.
Some hopes and dreams. Because you see people that are like have like sliced cheese and they eat sliced cheese, but we used to take block cheese and we just cut pieces of cheese and eat it. That's the only thing I can remember that I can actually remember eating before I had like dinner. Yeah, was like taking pieces of block cheese for whatever reason. Yeah, we wasn't supposed to be eating no cheese like that.
Yeah, it's so wild. It's so wild.
One of the other things that I think about, I mean, a lot of the people that I used to hang out when I was a kid had like, they were bigger families. So they had brothers and sisters and things like that. So you had like these kids that had like a bunch of scooters, or they had a trampoline, or they had like, you know, all these extra game consoles or whatever, which is like, damn, I ain't had nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like all my stuff got thrown away because I didn't want to clean.
I mean, my mama did that to me all the time. My mama did that to me all the time. Bad. And I would be so upset. And she'd be like, I told you to clean your room.
All my stuff would be thrown away.
You didn't do it. And I don't care how expensive it was. And then honestly, in my head now, I'm like, girl, you wasted so much money. Why would you throw away money like that?
It was the principle, and I understood. Because
listen,
honestly, fair.
There was a small point in my life, just a couple years, where we actually had a lot of money, and it for reasons unknown, but we had a lot of money, and so I had gaming consoles out the wazoo, and then all of a sudden one day they were all gone. They were all gone. I was like, we moved and they was all gone. My mama pawned them and had to do all sorts of shit. But anyways, I experienced that for a brief second, but that was wild. Oh, that was the thing that I was going to say was, the Welch's frozen grape juice.
Oh, the concentrated,
concentrated tube of grape juice. First of all, Welch's, you don't sponsor us. You probably won't even hear it. Please bring it back.
bring it back. Actually,
so
all the brands, because it wasn't even just Welch's. It was like a whole bunch of brands.
I just say Welch's because if it's grape juice, it's always Welch's. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the fucking brand is.
Well, because I think about the people who did like the limeade and the lemonades in those tubes too. I don't know what brand that was.
Yeah.
But bring them shits back. That was the best, just the best juice.
You just throw it in there with a bunch of water, stir it up, and you got a nice little juice cocktail. Bring them shits back.
And it was like slushy if you had thrown it in the, you had put it in the freezer. Because typically you put it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it was so good. But not everybody had that shit.
That was such a good time. Oh, them shits was good.
You know what's funny? And I'm going to call you out on this. Deidre's realizing she was poor.
So I knew we didn't have like money, but I didn't know like we was poor. Because
I was like, yo, I was poor. And she was like, you was poor? Yes.
Well, so we were talking about something. She's like, yeah, girl, we did that too because we was poor. And I was like, damn, I was poor. The only reason I didn't know that is because as a kid, we had, you go to school and you have like, some people got free lunch, some people didn't have free lunch. I didn't have free lunch, and I never understood. I mean, I did understand, but for a while I didn't understand why I didn't have free lunch. And my dad was like, girl, you're not gonna have free lunch because we make too much money. But
that free lunch was not that great. I ain't even gonna lie to you. At least at my
the
schools.
Regular lunch wasn't either.
Yeah, but people got cool shit on the regular lunch. At least at my school.
Oh,
they had like options between like taco salads and stuff like that, and I had to get like the little square pizza.
Taco salad.
Yeah,
girl, we all got the square pizza. Girl. Free lunch and regular lunch was the same damn lunch. Girl. It was just you got to pay for it or you don't.
No, we got shittier lunch.
Really? Mm-hmm. All the
free lunch kids got shittier lunch.
I feel like all the lunches look the exact same.
It was kind of wild.
But I mean, it may not have been. I'm also obviously going off of old memory, but
that pizza slapped back in the day.
That pizza was fire. It
ain't the same.
It's not the same. That pizza was amazing. I ate that pizza from the time I was like in the second grade to the time I was in high school. I graduated from high school. That was the same pizza that held me down all them years.
And I ate it with ranch or ketchup. One of the other.
Ranch was the shit,
girl. It was so good.
The only school that I went to that had actually pretty decent lunch is the school that I went to when I lived overseas.
Oh, that makes sense because the U.S. food is disgusting. So good.
I mean, it was a U.S. based school.
Yeah, but they still have to get their ingredients from local sources. Yeah.
So, but it was actually pretty decent. And they had their little snacks and stuff like that. Hot Pockets and shit like that.
Oh,
nice.
And
their little snack bar, hot dogs and shit. But yeah, man, I didn't know. I thought we were. I just didn't know.
I just know that we didn't get name brand shit like that. There was a certain time that we got name brand shit, but most of the time we got bag cereal, and it was like you have like Fruity Pebbles. This was like Fruit Rocks or some shit.
I get it.
Seasoned Rocks. All right, so now on to this segment of what kept you up at night. Deidre?
All right. So one night I was having a whole meltdown, and in order to kind of get myself together a little bit, I started, actually it wasn't even during the night, it was during the day, but then it ended up going to the night. Anyway, in order to get myself a little bit together, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this thing about vaquitas. And vaquitas are a thing that's like I guess it's in like the porpoise family or something like that. Anyway, they're like extremely, extremely critically endangered because
they're like teeny tiny, right?
They're super tiny, and the reason why they're becoming super extinct is because they get caught in gill nets. Something nets. I forgot what the nets are called specifically.
Yeah.
But they get stuck in them. And
yeah, gill nets.
Okay. So they keep getting stuck in these gill nets, and then but they're getting caught up in all these things, and it's completely wiping out their population.
Yeah.
So there's like I don't know, like 6 or something left in the world. There's crazy. Not much. There's not much of them.
Crazy.
But the thing is, they're getting confused for tortugas, totoabas. I don't know how to pronounce them either, but they're getting confused for those. So those are the things that they're actually trying to go after, but they're getting caught in the nets, and they think that the vaquitas are the toto ones. They're not.
They're not.
And they're getting murked. And they're critically endangered because of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. And they're so cute looking, but they're not quite, they're in the porpoise family, which is interesting, but they look like giant fish.
Yeah.
They look like just really big fish.
Yeah.
Getting murked.
That's crazy.
Because this the Totos is out here looking like them, and they're not even letting nobody know that they got the wrong things, but they just letting them slide so they can be endangered.
And they're like, you know what? As long as it's not us getting murked.
That kept me up. I looked all into it. I don't remember all the details, obviously, because I was not in the best of places, but it was very interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The Totoras. Totoabas.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird.
That's crazy.
What's been keeping you up?
Nordic braids.
Backstory.
Nordic braids. So let me tell you a little bit something about uneducated, ignorant men.
Wait. Do a backstory.
White men.
The reason why this is coming up.
That's what I'm about to say.
Okay.
That's what I'm about to say. So we had somebody comment because I talked about the Ting Non laws for our Bump and Gums episode. That's going to be Bump and Gums episode 3. You can go ahead and check it out if you want to learn about some bullshit. Some cool shit is what I meant. He's on some bullshit. Anyways. So this guy decided to comment because he was like, I'm the king of the internet. I'm gonna tell you that you don't know shit about shit. And his words were, everybody's history is different. So I was like, okay, because like the whole thing was Ting Non laws is about hair and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. And I spoke about how cultural appropriation is real. I don't like when white women and white men and just white people in general try to do black hairstyles, because there's a lot of history, specifically cornrows in general. There's a lot of history to it. Anyways, this man swooped in and he was like, okay, but the Nordic people were doing it first. But when I stated it was braids, but I said women's black hair has a lot of history, which I guess I need to be more specific on that, because yes, there's all sorts of different types of braid that has history, like box braids. There's a lot of history with box braids. There's a lot of history with cornrows. There's a lot of history with dreads. There's a lot of history with locks. There's a lot of history with all of these things, right? What pisses me off is when you have white people coming out and they want to be like, Nordics did it first, because the recessive chromosome was the only thing that was here on the goddamn earth at the time. Okay, the recessive chromosome, nobody else, none of the dominant chromosomes were out there, or the dominant genes were out there, just the fucking recessive ones with these goddamn Nordic people. But so anyways, I went down a rabbit hole with the Nordic hair, because I was like, you know what?
Let me look up.
I said, just because I like to keep myself informed, especially when I need to debate an ignorant white man. I went on and I looked and I realized that, first of all, Nordic people, they have a lot of braids. They do a lot of braids in their hair, but they do a specific style of Nordic braids, right? And a lot of it had to do with to keep the hair out from pillaging and stuff like that when they're out plundering and stealing shit, because basically they just went around to everybody's fucking place. They were pillaging and plundering, and they was out here stealing shit because, you know, that's just what they did back then. They was like, I'm gonna take what I want. Yeah. You did. I'm gonna take what I want. And they did all this shit, right? So anyways, the history behind their braids isn't because they didn't need the braids to escape slavery, which has been happening for generations and generations and generations. No, they didn't need it for that. Their braids were specifically for marital status, was specifically for like socio status, like where you stood in your society, what your ranking was, what type of job you did, if you were single, if you were married, if you were widowed, if you were pregnant, their braids had meaning in their society. Their braids did not have negative connotation with the history. And that's the thing that pisses me off when people are coming out here and they're like, oh, but the white Nordics, they're the one that had the braids first. No, it's just like, it's like, that's, first of all,
nobody was saying that nobody else can have braids.
Nobody was saying that.
There was a specific conversation that was happening, and I think he heard braids and was like, well, and it's like, wait. That's not the argument here.
That wasn't the argument.
That's not the argument.
That was not the fucking argument. But anyways, it sent me down a whole goddamn rabbit hole about the braids for Nordic people, and specifically like they would put stuff in their hair to symbolize where they were at in society, their wealth and stuff like that. It had nothing to do with trying to survive. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make, was the fact that black women, black people in general, but primarily black women, because the women were the one that was always doing hair. Black women were the one that braided these fucking maps, so that they could survive and so that their kin could survive. That's not what was happening in the Nordic culture. I looked and researched for hours to see if there was any indication that maybe I was wrong. And I knew I fucking wasn't wrong, but I just needed to make sure I proved that goddamn point. Because it pisses me off when those things are thrown out there. Like, that's just supposed to be like a but, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like a counter, when it's like, okay, no, two things can coexist at the same time.
Yeah.
Nordic people can have braids for their own fucking societal status, and black people can also have used braids to escape slavery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was what was keeping us up over the nights. I do want to say, super side note, just about something else that I've been watching. I started watching Severance, and I have been blowing through it probably because I'm on a free trial with Apple, and so with Apple TV, and I have only 7 days to get this show out, but I didn't realize that it was ongoing, so I'm gonna just pay for the service anyway. Into it.
Yes.
So the first couple of times I've tried to watch the show, I could not get into it because I kept falling asleep. But I think it was circumstance of what was kind of happening.
Yeah.
So I finally was able to like sit down and watch it and really get into it. And man, it is so good.
Isn't it good?
And when I tell you this is how I know it's good, I'm not pressed about my phone.
Girl.
I'm not pressed about nothing except watching this damn show.
I know. It's a really good show.
It is so good.
It's a really good show.
I like it a lot.
I love that for you.
A lot. Yeah.
Well, continue on and let me know how you love it.
I think I have like 2 more episodes left, and I'm caught up to the current.
Yeah.
The current going ons.
Yeah.
There's an episode that comes out on Friday. So.
Love that. Yeah. Anywho's in.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Well, keep a lookout for more Bump and Gum episodes. Keep a lookout for more Bitch Please episodes. Bitch Please will come out every Tuesday. Bump and Gums will come out every Monday. So, if there's anything that you want us to talk about on Bump and Gums or say on Bump and Gums, we can absolutely do that. Just let us know. We it is an outlet for our little tism. Well, at least for me and my tism. So I like info dumping. I'll probably talk about apiaries at some point. So, like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good shit. It definitely helps us if you are subscribing. If you can subscribe, it would be great. That benefits us a lot. So thanks for being here. We love y'all. We appreciate you. And goodbye.